Okay, good morning. My name is Sergeant Tom Weger, and I would like to welcome you to this press conference. We certainly appreciate your attendance. We have some very exciting news that we'd like to share with you today. But first, I'd like to introduce those standing with me this morning. We have Fishers Mayor Scott Fadness, Chief of Police George Kale, Assistant Chief Mitch Thompson, Captain Ed Gephardt, and Ari, I can't remember how to pronounce your last name. It's Smith.
Tough one.
I'll turn it over to Mayor Fadness.
Hard to follow that act. Well, thank you all for being here today. You know, Fishers has aspired to be a laboratory of innovation for public policy and solving the practical issues that face most cities across Indiana and across the nation today by attacking problems head on and really trying to create a smart, vibrant, entrepreneurial culture, not only within our community, but within our organization. And today, we have folks here today to roll out technology that really bridges the gap between our law enforcement agency and our community by using technology to engage our citizenry. Oftentimes when I talk to residents, one of the things I hear time and time again is, you know, something in my neighborhood just didn't seem quite right, but I didn't want to make a big deal out of it. I didn't want to call 911. I didn't think it was an emergent issue. Well, that intelligence and that information and that engagement is critical for the frontline officers to be able to fight crime and engage our residents. And so today, I'm really pleased to see this application roll out, and I encourage all of our residents to adopt this and work with us as we move on. And I think the story behind this not only reflects the leadership and the entrepreneurial culture in our police department, but the unique synergy between our launch fishers and our entrepreneurial movement and law enforcement. So with that, the originator of this, a good friend and a future leader in our police department, Captain Ed Gephardt, is going to talk to you a little bit about this innovation. Ed?
Thank you. Thanks for coming. Too many times technology today gives us what happens after an officer steps on a scene, after he gets out of his vehicle. Oftentimes that officer only has seconds to get information to make a correct decision that must be perfect. A while back, I began to think about getting technology on the other side of the ballgame. What if we could give the information to the officers before they get to the scene? With our city officials, with Ari's ideas, our chief, our mayor, we put a team together to begin to put a project together that could allow that very thing to happen. So now, as of today, members of our community will be able to communicate live with officers that patrol the streets of Fishers. They will be able to send information to them in a real-time scenario, and the officers will be able to see their location and what their need is. On top of that, the officers will get a picture of the criminal, of the suspect, or the suspect vehicle, and have that information before they step out of the car, before they have to make those critical decisions. Oftentimes those decisions play out eternally in the courts and in the minds of the media and the public. Hopefully this technology will help us to be more perfect in our endeavors as law enforcement officers. So with that, I want to thank our chief of police, our police officers that have helped build this, our mayor, our assistant chief, Ari, who built it. It's a big project and everybody was involved, and a lot of people are standing behind you that helps with it, and I'm so appreciative of the atmosphere that we could put this online. I do think that it'll help make arrests and save lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Ed. This is a great day for Fishers and their citizens. As Fishers has been known for, we build public and private partnerships all the time. And I couldn't be more proud of Ed Gephardt and Ari for working so hard the last year to develop a program like this that's going to put information to our officers right from the citizens in a moment's notice. Not many departments do this over the years, and I have full confidence once this app is out in the public, it's going to grow to the sky's limit. And I'm sure once other departments across the country see this app, it's going to take off, and this is just the new wave of technology. Because everybody lives by their cell phone anymore, and I couldn't express my pleasure more for what this department's done. And once again, I want to thank these two gentlemen, because Ari's been a friend of our department for many years and has developed many apps for statewide use. And it's good to have him live in our community, and it's good to have him as a friend and a partner.
All right, what we'd like to do now is we would like to offer a demonstration of the app. And so what we're going to do is we are going to send a call, and you'll be able to see us do that on a cell phone, and then you'll also be able to see it hit on the mobile data terminal in the police car. So you get an idea of exactly how it's going to work. So if you want to go ahead and get set up for that, and we can do it as many times as needed, so obviously you don't have to all crowd in one car for one shot.
When does the app launch?
It is live right now.
And is there a cost to get the app?
There's no cost.
How much does it cost to develop, and how long does this whole thing take to develop?
So time spent on is best answered by Ari.
Oh my gosh. So it was about 6 to 9 months of development. I did a pro bono for the community, so there was no cost. But yeah, about 6 to 9 months, and then 5 months to get Apple to allow us to create an account.
Yeah, we beat Apple.
What's your background?
Sure. So I've been doing software for 30 or so years, and ran a software development firm here in Indy for a while. The electronic citation software that's running inside the vehicles, my team wrote that, and I even instruct software development over at 150. So I'm a teacher too, and it's pretty cool doing this.
So what was the big challenge to making this real time?
Yeah, I'm not sure it was so difficult to make it real time. The problem was the user experience. So how do you make this easy to use? Like it needs to require a PhD, push your dummy, and they should be able to just select what's going on, enter what's up, and then take a photo and hit submit, and that should be it. It should pop up on an app. And the big feature that because we worked with the citizens on this, Ed made sure that we talked with the citizens. The number one feedback from them was, how do we know someone's followed up? So after a response has occurred, a message comes to the user with what the result of the call was.
How do you feel it will, maybe Ed, you could talk about this, run times to get to a scene where somebody is able to report this on an app? Do you think it will improve your run times?
To be clear on one thing too, one thing we need to get out there to the community is this is not a replacement for 911. There is features within the app that you can dial 911 immediately. We can't circumvent their training and their ability to help someone that's in need. This is simply an application for our community to see something and say something to us. So I think response times in general, it probably will reduce them because you're live. But I hate to say that because we can't quantify or measure it right now.
Would be applications for the fire department as well?
Sure, you can, the fire chief's right behind you there, you can talk to him next.
Is this restricted to the boundaries of Fishers?
Yes, the app is running in Fishers only to the citizens of Fishers for the community of Fishers.
Is this sort of one of its kind app that's out there right now? Are any other departments using it that you're aware of?
When we started the endeavor, we were the only ones. And we kind of had a lot of discussions about how fast to move, but we wanted to put a minimum viable product out there that was usable and couldn't be broken. Since then, we've heard of a couple agencies that are trying to come online with something similar, but I don't think it reached the measurement exactly what Ari's done here.
Is the reporting anonymous?
No, you have to have an account. Now, you just create the account right in the app, just like any other app, right? But then it's tied so they have to be able to respond to you. Otherwise, you can just use the tip line if you want to go totally anonymous.
Is this information then admissible in court?
Yes, can be. And it's saved and stored accordingly to the statutes of the state of Indiana.
Now, when tips come in or submissions are made, are they given any kind of like a priority list? I mean, are some submissions more important than others? I mean, I guess I'm getting at how do you make sure your officers aren't just chasing down every tip that comes through the app and it becomes a distraction?
Well, the majority of our time has been spent on not having officers chase their tails. So Audrey's done a great job in providing a number of blockades that does not occur. Fake calling, spamming, that's why there's a vetting process. And it's better to show you than to talk you through it, because I can show you some of those doors that are put in, and it's going to be better understood that way. Probably easier for me to talk to it as well.
All right, go ahead and get set up and we'll get a demo for you.